Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for quarter 2 of 2023. This is going to be for April through June of 2023. I didn't want to do this, but we're going to roll with it because I don't know. Just because we are, but each row is going to represent something different that will be going on for you during this quarter. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm not going to clarify. We're just going to take each row to represent something new. So you have this card. I'm going to put it here so I can actually read these, and we'll put this over here. But you have this card that says, the sacrifices you make today will be worth it. You also have this inspiration card. It says, a spark of inspiration will ignite brilliant new ideas. It is essential that you are clear about what you want, follow your heart. This is really the time that we're in. I literally talk about this constantly, how, I really feel we're in a time where we are being led by our inspirations or by the things that excite us. And the reason that this is actually kind of like a problem is because most people think like, oh, I can't, start that, guinea pig farm or that worm farm, as I always joke about. I can't have a cotton candy factory. Society doesn't allow that, right? But the trick, the reason I talk about this so much is Pluto and Aquarius. With Pluto and Aquarius, we need to break society's rules. Again, if you're doing things based off of what society tells you to do, then you're probably just going to be part of the herd. And yes, Pluto and Aquarius is the collective, but as I always say, there's another side to that, which is the individual and kind of making ourselves individual. But damn, Sagittarius, this is a good reading. I love this card right here, this Between Worlds, because you can see this flamingo is going from dark black and white to color here. So it's like your life is about to get more vibrant, a lot more exciting. You have some really amazing money cards as well. And sorry, this whole entire deck's upside down. That's why I'm flipping the cards over, just so you know. And some people don't like that I read reversals, but I don't know, go watch someone who reads reversals. Go for it, right? But it's interesting that you have the Sacrifices card and you have the Six of Pentacles. Because you have that card that says the sacrifices you make today will be worth it. Six of Pentacles is a card of planting seeds. And it's a card of like having ideas, but needing to see what ideas sprout. So the sacrifice that you could be making is just time, If you have a bunch of ideas for your YouTube channel, some of your ideas are going to work, and some of them are not. So that's like what I mean by sacrifices and Six of Pentacles, is that you're making the sacrifice of time. But if there was ever a time where experimentation was worth it, it's Pluto and Aquarius. So, Pluto and Aquarius, I think, really rewards us kind of following our inspiration. We get inspired by an idea that leads to another idea that leads to another idea. We are in a time of connecting the dots, as I've been saying. And the reason I keep talking about it is because, I really feel the people who do it are going to be very successful. It's like literally the most important thing we could be doing. You have the Four of Swords here. Looks like financial recovery to me. You have some amazing financial cards here. You have the Great Fortune card. You have this Coins card, which says luck with money. You have the Ace of Pentacles. So it looks to me like a lot of you could be kind of healing your finances, or the things that you're doing could be improving upon the finances that you have already. Again, it's going to require you to follow your, oh my God, it's my first day, Sagittarius, so cut me some slack. I've never done this before. But you have the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is a card of inspiration. It is a card of following your inspiration. I always say the Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. So anything new that you feel inspired to do is going to lead to a lot of success. I also feel that anything that you feel passionate about, obviously, with that inspiration card, it's like, I think that moving towards your passions is going to be the thing that makes you more successful. Again, there are plenty of business experts out there that say, do not create a business around your passion. But I don't know, seems to be working pretty well for me. So, with this right here, I do this every single day. And I have other businesses that are passion-based as well. Seems to be working pretty well for me. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but, I always say, I live the things that I say. So, use me as an example, please. Like I said, and also, like I say, when I was 10 years old, I fell on my head. Like, I'm a dummy. I have to read things 900 times over because I can't pay attention to things. I can't write. I can barely write, basically. Dyslexic. All these problems, right? If I can do it, you can do it. So now is the time. You have the Ace of Pentacles here. Ace of Pentacles, like a big opportunity that could be coming in for you. I do feel, obviously, that there could be a love opportunity, you have marriage, great fortune, but you go up to the Ten of Cups. So I think what's really interesting to me here is that this Page of Swords is looking at the Ace of Wands. So you might be looking at a new potential connection. You might be saying, oh, it's just like sex-based, but it actually could be much deeper than that. Or maybe you look at this person, if you have your eye on a person, maybe you look at them and say, oh, they're a player, or they get a lot of attention or whatever, but I actually think they want this right here, 10 of Cups. They want something serious. I feel like saying don't make the same mistake, which is really, and I'm not saying that you're making a mistake. What I'm saying is that if you're attracting a person who I think could be this Page of Cups, and it could be any sign. Taurus stands out to me. Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo with the World card really stand out to me in your reading, so it could be one of the fixed signs that's coming in for you. But I think that it's this person here. I think this is who they are in the reading, basically. And I think people have made the mistake of thinking that they're like a player or something like that, or thinking that they don't want more. So it's like all the, what I'm trying to spit out here is that this person's past exes have all maybe thought they were too good for them, or didn't think that they wanted to get married when they actually did. I think this person really wants something serious, but everybody assumes that they don't. So don't make that mistake. And again, the other interesting thing is it could just because this is a good looking person. So maybe you just assume that they get a lot of attention, which they probably do, but that doesn't mean they're out there hoeing or anything like that, right? So, be open. You have the sailboat card. In this row, you have the sailboat card. It says you're heading in the right direction. Yes. I feel like you also need to move towards this Page of Cups. You have the Page of Cups, Page of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. I always say that the Page of Cups has a fish in his cup here. So outside of this being a person, that fish could be a goal, wish, dream. Basically, it is your happily ever after 10 of Cups right here. We don't just, of course, get our happily ever after. We also see your happily ever after right here on the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is a little bit different. We'll talk about that when we get there. But I always say the 7 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, they exist up here. We have to bring those things down to earth. So if you're dreaming of, having a successful business or fixing your health or whatever it is you want to do, that 10 of Cups is like saying it's right there. It's like right up above your head. You just have to bring it down to earth. And you might be saying, I've been trying. How? How do I bring this down to earth? Well, you need to be a detective. Right here. Here is your answer. Page of Swords. Page of Swords, like a detective, he really dives deep into the things that he wants to fix or create, or if he wants to have his happily ever after, he does as much research on it as he possibly can. But he doesn't just research it. He does the research and then puts something into action. He does the research on, building a business, and then he tries it. He tries something, right? So I really feel this is saying, do the research, then try. The other thing that you're going to have to do is, obviously, that sailboat card says you're heading in the right direction. You're going to have to keep moving forward, but you're also going to have to leave comfort zones, do things that you've never done before. I've literally been saying since 2020 that everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before, and I'm a big fan of trying new things, trying different things in life, exploring new possibilities right now, because that's where success is. It's not going to be where you've been for the last 20 years. Let's put it that way. Next, in your next row here, if I can get these cards, you have this Great Fortune card and this Marriage card. Again, like I said, it's almost like you're attracting someone who could be very fortunate, but at the same time, I'm not saying this is like a millionaire or billionaire or anything. It could just be a person you feel very fortunate to have if you are attracting love. I also clearly, as I said at the beginning of the reading, I feel there are some definite good things happening in your finances. 10 of Cups can just be fortune after difficulty, just, good things happening after a difficult period of time. Obviously, it's not going to magically happen. If you're trying to improve your finances, look for a new job, look for something that pays more, ask your boss for a raise. You have to do things. Again, tarot isn't magic. People always leave me comments. They're like, I've had the same job for 20 years and you said I was going to make more money and I haven't. Did you ask for a raise? Did you go look for a new job? If you've been doing the same thing for the past 20 years, it's not going to work. So, again, I'm not even saying you have to leave your job, but if you've never asked for a raise, ask for a raise, ask for a promotion. If they say no, go look for something else, right? We have to put in the work, but clearly, if you do, there is great fortunes coming in for you. You have the 10 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, and the Hierophant. Definitely marriage. I mean, Hierophant definitely represents marriage or a very strong connection that could be coming in for you. I really get the feeling of, again, this is only for those of you that want love. I get the feeling that says, don't run away from it. I'm not saying that you would. I'm just saying, there could be a danger here of thinking that it's not real with the 7 of Cups. The other thing I would say to you with the World here is, again, I do not like long-distance relationships with Neptune and Pisces. We have Neptune and Pisces right now. And if you get into something long distance, the fantasy can be very attractive. Like, just the fantasy of being together with a person that's long distance, but it never comes together. So I always tell people, if you're getting into something long distance between now and like 2026, I would make sure to set a date and be like, we need to meet by X, Y, and Z date. And if we do, great. And if we don't, then we end it. Because, I just really see that we could get stuck in these like time wasting situations that waste a lot of time. So make sure that doesn't happen. Don't get stuck in the fantasy. You have the Three of Cups here. Definitely some sort of celebration coming in for you. I would also say anything you can do, as I always say, anything you could do to work with other people or to team up with other people or to collaborate would be very beneficial. Again, we have Pluto going into Aquarius, which, anything that benefits the collective is just going to benefit you times like a million. So I would definitely do that. I also feel that, like, I get something about a harvest here. You can see there are some like pumpkins here on this card, and I feel like you are about to experience a harvest. What I would say is, like, I'd be on the lookout for information, especially with that Page of Swords. A lot of the readings I've been doing have been, and you've probably heard me say it before, that you have to move a lot of dirt to get to the gold. So a lot of my readings lately, I've been feeling this feeling of like really needing to do the research and work or business, because there could be some opportunities that could make you more money, but you're going to have to look for them, and they're not going to just magically appear, but they exist. The opportunity exists, but you're going to have to look for it. So, kind of like do your research. You have the Ten of Cups again. So again, fortune after difficulty. If you want to have a family with a person, I feel like this is a very well-balanced connection. Going down, you have the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles here. This could be how the two of you kind of show up in the relationship. Is someone's very emotionally stable. I feel like the other person's maybe very resourceful. So it's like the two people work very well together. Could also be a Capricorn. You have Capricorn right here. So could be a Capricorn coming in for some of you, but like I said, I just get like a very stable connection. Next, you have this obstacles card. It says blocks, pathways, delays. You have this coins card. It says luck and money. I feel like this is saying do not turn away from blockages. It's like, on the other side of this blockage could be a pile of gold. So, anything that you're trying to build, if there are delays or blockages, I would make sure that you're pulling out the dynamite and, blowing up those obstacles so that you can get all the gold or the pot of gold that is on the other side. I also feel, again, this could be a love situation where, the blockage is this real? Really, that's the only thing that's popping into my head here, is that you could be wondering, is this real? Is it a fantasy? Again, number one, I would trust the evidence. Like, and what I mean by that is, does the person say something and they do it? If the answer is yes, then keep going. If you put energy in, do they give energy back? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is no to any of those questions, you stop, right? And either you communicate and say what the hell, or you move on, plain and simple, right? And so, that's what I'd be doing here. But there could be the blockage of distance. I'm definitely getting that. You have the Page of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Seven of Wands here. Page of Pentacles would be someone new. So if you want love, you have 3 pages in this reading, and I feel like it could be someone new. I also feel like you could be in a learning period of life. It's like when you have multiple pages like this, it could represent immature energy. It's not that you are immature, it's that you're entering into a new cycle and you just haven't learned the ins and outs of the cycle yet. This is like a good thing. It's like children sometimes make good mistakes, right? It's like sometimes children, they like explore things and they're not necessarily afraid to make a mistake. They just kind of screw around and, have fun, and they have like that childlike energy. And that's definitely popping into my head for you, where it's like sometimes you might discover something through making a mistake, or you might discover something by being more playful and more childlike and not taking things too seriously. It's definitely popping into my head. I also think that there is a lot about like self-education here, because the Page of Pentacles is a card of studiousness. So anything that you can learn to improve like your business, your career, any of that stuff would be a good idea. You have the King of Cups, and again, I do feel like you could be attracting a person like this. It's crazy. Everybody's been getting the King of Cups as far as love is concerned. And as I've said to everyone, I don't think it's a water sign. I think that really, sometimes I think there are like certain archetypes that are maybe more attractive during certain times than others, right? So I feel like right now, based off the astrology that we're about to enter into, maybe the King of Cups is just a very kind of attractive archetype for everyone at this time, if that makes sense. So again, I don't think it's a water sign. I think it's someone who's more adventurous, someone who's willing to take bigger risks, and someone who's very emotionally stable. This is the reason I think this was going to be attractive is everybody had the tower except for you. And what I would say is I think there are going to be a lot of tower moments. On the positive side of things, if we're talking about a high vibration King of Cups person, it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to, they don't freak out every time there's a global tower moment. And, they have very stable emotions. You can see that he's sitting in choppy waters, but he's not worried about what's going on around him. He also has that boat behind him, which says he's willing to explore the unknown. And again, the reason I think this is going to be very attractive at this time is because there's like major changes with Pluto and Aquarius. Again, I always say, mark my words, come back. Don't even come back in 20 years, come back in 10 years. Mark my words, over the next 10 years, we will see things coming out that we never thought possible, right? Crazy new inventions, crazy leaps in technology, all sorts of stuff. We're already seeing it with AI and everything like that. But this type of person, they don't panic. They are like, what can I get out of this? How can I use this new tool to my advantage? Very much like smarter. And we're talking about the higher vibration version of the King of Cups. So that would be why. And again, it could be any sign. You have the Seven of Wands. I feel for whatever reason that boundaries are really important for pretty much all of us right now, and we need to make sure that we're kind of not like slipping on our boundaries. So if there are certain boundaries, like if you're dating and a person crosses your boundaries, I always say like we should probably tell the person, hey, you're crossing my boundaries, and if they don't listen and they do it again, then we leave, plain and simple, right? So I feel like our boundaries are important, but I also feel this goes for no settling. I've been getting a message for all the fire signs in these second quarter readings. It's basically been saying like no settling. Don't, if you have a job and you're not getting paid your worth, go look for something else. It's like there's a real need to stick up for yourself, demand your value, whatever you want to call it. Next you have, and finally you have this Between Worlds card. So I feel like you're about to enter into abundance, radiance. All these good words are popping into my head here, Sag. So it's like you're going from black and white to color. I feel like there's a lot more happiness. And again, probably you're working towards this like happily ever after. You have the Seven of Cups, the World, and the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like a lot of people are stuck in the Seven of Cups, It's like Seven of Cups is thinking about that Ten of Cups. But you can see that there are some good things and some bad things in those cups, There's like some bad things like the mountain, the snake. There's some good things like the jewels and the wreath, which would represent an accomplishment. And I really feel this is, again, just a sign of the times that we're in. It's like we are in a time where it's like pretty much anything could happen. It's like something good could happen, something bad could happen if we start a business or if we get into a relationship. But I really feel the universe is like, no, you need to find out for yourself. So I feel this is saying it's time to start thinking. It's time to stop thinking and start doing, basically, and to find out how things are going to go. Basically, you have to find out on your own. You have to figure out like what your own story is through action, through going on adventures with the World card. So I do feel there's like a lot of accomplishment energy coming in for you, but it's going to come through maybe facing some fears with that Seven of Cups, or through just not knowing what the answers are. Again, there are no answers. I keep telling people as well that, like, really, I kind of look at it as Neptune and Pisces. We've had Neptune and Pisces. We still have Neptune and Pisces until 2026. And, long story short, I think what Neptune and Pisces does is normally maybe we work on a project and there are certain, like, milestones that we reach and we're like, oh, I'm going in the right direction. It's like the distance between those milestones is much bigger with Neptune and Pisces. It's like maybe we don't actually know if what we're doing is going to be successful or not. Neptune and Pisces is like, no, you just have to trust your heart. And with Pluto going into Aquarius, I'm telling you right now, maybe it's not like a big part of Pluto and Aquarius, but intuitively and also according to Chris's crappy astrology here, I'm telling you right now that the people who listen to their heart and don't listen to everyone else are going to be successful. So, that's what I'd be doing here with this World card. Finally, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Part of me, for whatever reason, feels like it's you. Doesn't matter what gender you are. I feel like this is just how you are showing up in the reading, which is great. I feel like you're showing up, being very resourceful, being willing to start projects and businesses without needing to know what to do. Same thing with relationships. It's like, she doesn't care if she doesn't have the money. She basically just wants to do something, and so maybe she doesn't have, maybe that pentacle isn't money. It might be like a hidden talent, gift, skill, or ability that could make her money. It might be another resource that she has that allows her to reach her goals, and that's all she cares about. So I feel for a lot of you, being resourceful is just going to get you closer to your happily ever after here. I also feel that there could be like a person coming in for you who helps you get there as well. It doesn't even have to be a lover here, Sag. It could be like a friend or a mentor or like a guide who guides you towards your 10 of Cups. And again, that 10 of Cups doesn't have to be love. It could be just something that makes you happy, you know, or something that is like a worthy goal, let's put it that way, and something that will probably make your life better, because 10 of Cups is fortune after difficulty. So that's really what I see here. I feel like there's a lot of luck in your finances over this quarter as well. Clearly, you have that luck and money card, that coins card. So this looks pretty good to me here, Sag. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your quarter.